ask for a more wild way to start the postseason.
Thank you, Adam Silver.
We got last night. I mean, that was so much fun. We're going to extinguish the heat, and here is how it went down. It was lit in Charlotte. But this is what everyone's talking about, of course, right? Early second quarter, Lamelo Ball, he drives. But Bam Adebayo, as he's going to grab the rebound there, he goes down hard. He's clearly in pain. And then on another look, yeah, right there, you see Lamelo, it almost looks like he's grabbing at Adebayo's foot. Here's Erik Spoelstra's thoughts on this.
I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny. I think it's a stupid play. It's a dangerous play. Obviously, our best player is out. You know, he should have been thrown out of the game, you know, for that.
I haven't even seen. Like I said, I got hit in the head. Didn't even know where I was. But, yeah, just playing basketball. But like I said, sorry, and I'm going to check on him.
All right, good for Lamelo on checking on him. But Bam Adebayo went down, didn't return to the game, Perk. What do you think of this play?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a dirty play. Did he deserve to get ejected? No. Probably a flagrant one, absolutely. But, hey, look, I mean, you know.
There was still game to be played, and the third quarter was all about Kobe White. This is literally why you bring him in here. And then the third quarter here, winding down. Ball gets it to White, red hot. Fired up as the Hornets lead by 6 heading into the fourth quarter here today. So to the final frame we go, a minute and a half to play. The Heat up 6 at this point. Brandon Miller kicks it out.
I thought he was going to shoot that, but they took their
time.
Instead, better than 2, it's 3.
And Miles Bridges had him a night. Inside out, featured on isolation, low block area, mid-post area, knocking down tray balls.
But it was notable here that Knipple was on the bench when they needed a 3 the most. Who do you call? Oh, yeah, White.
You know what he was? He was white hot.
He was white.
It wasn't me. It was our producer, Connors. I can't take the credit for that.
The most. Look at the fans. They're so hyped. The game's all tied at 114. But you know that Miami, they still have a shot here. Tyler Hero gets it in the backcourt, pushes the ball up. He can make it from this range. Going to work. Tyler Hero, he gets a good look, but he can't quite get it to go.
The play-in killer couldn't do it.
Tim, who wouldn't want a little bit more basketball? Free basketball here. And again, 30 seconds left. It was all Hornets in overtime. Ball gets inside, hits that tough layup, and he is fired up as the Hornets are starting to taste it here. They go up by 5. And then the next Heat possession here. Hero, what do you say? I need a hero. And they needed a corner 3. Tyler delivers Miami back within 2. So now it's Ball who's bringing it up the court. He's pressing. And they turn it over. And
no better.
This is worse. By the way, diabolical that Tyler Hero goes back down to the 3-point line, and he's fouled on the play.
That is a Dumb and Dumber sequence by Lamelo Ball.
Well, this is the last person you want to foul. So the Heat are up 1 here. Lamelo Ball gets it inside. High off the glass.
And he's still the hero. That makes up for it.
And he still is the hero and makes up for it. But sprinting again the other way. Miami has a chance. But no. Bridges gets mobbed by his teammates afterwards. And Charlotte gets the 1-point win. Lamelo, hey, be nice to the mascot. Here's Lamelo Ball, the hero for Charlotte after the game.
On that last drive, pretty much I just got to win the game. I feel like I just the game up, so I'm like, it's my fault. I gotta make it work.
They have no timeouts. Hell of a job getting back, guarding, defending. We said it was going to come down to winning. Let's go.
Wait, Charles Lee is delivering this with the intensity that it deserved. But you know what? This is what the play-in is all about. And you know what? The last couple of weeks in the NBA have had some tough watches. This is the type of thing that makes up for it. But that final play, the Miami Heat, Shanae, they sort of made a mistake to allow Lamelo that easy look.
Perfect example of how the playoffs, or at least the play-in, is chess and not checkers. And I like the moves on both ends. When it comes to coaches, you can really think about what they were able to do, especially when it comes to Erik Spoelstra. Unfortunately, he went with a small man lineup. So, you know, think about it. Lamelo Ball gets off of Jaime Jaquez' hip. And then, of course, Andrew Wiggins, he did not even see the ball. So Lamelo has a layup to win the game. And then if you think about Charles Lee here, now on the other side, Davion Mitchell goes and he gets the block. Why? Because he chose to trust in his team, to trust in a little bit more of a mobile defensive lineup. You bench Knipple. So on both ends, these are respected coaches. But more importantly, they made some gambles and one paid off. And if there's one person that makes a lot of gambles, it's Lamelo Ball. This game was the Lamelo Ball experience.
Yes.
Because he was 12 for 31, 2 for 16 from 3. He made a play that took out the opposing team's best player, but on the other side, he was able to stay present enough, even after missing shots, to be able to deliver and make the right read. I feel for Charlotte. Well, their fans, up and down, but they have a reason to celebrate.
It was one of those things. How often do you say, man, I wish I was in Charlotte last night? You know, sometimes it's not. For me, I had so much FOMO watching that game, wanting to be in that building. And that's sort of what Charlotte has become over the last couple of weeks and months. They've kind of become America's team in a lot of ways. They're fun to watch. And
they are, Malika. They are one of the most exciting teams to watch. But, you know, once the playoffs and the play-in gets started, you know, I get tunnel vision. I watched every minute, every second of this game. And I said, you know what? If the Celtics and the Pacers had a baby, you get the Charlotte Hornets. And let me explain why. Charles Lee, you evil genius, you. He took plays, he took a system from the Pacers and the Celtics. Think about this for a second. The Charlotte Hornets, they rank number 2 in the league in three-point field goal attempts. They rank number 1 in the league in three-pointers made, right? Tyrese Halliburton, Lamelo Ball is they Tyrese Halliburton. The way that they like to play through him, push the pace, and we saw so many times that they had layups, but they was taking threes. And I said to myself, this is the way that the Celtics play. And then I had to remind my big dumb ass that Charles Lee won a championship with Joe Mazzulla, and he was his assistant coach, Tim.
And look, we came into the season, midway through the season, the league was saying, hey, can Lamelo Ball ever play winning basketball? He's talented, but it's chaos. And frankly, he was labeled a talented loser by a lot of people. He has driven winning this season. You know, certainly this was kind of, as you said, the whole LaMelo Ball experience, chaos, you know, clutch plays, but also the controversy. I can't go with the darlings of the league right now when there's that kind of controversy staining this win.
And you know what? That has been the conversation around for fans and up and down the network certainly today. And we heard Eric Spoelstra say that he doesn't want to make any excuses for the Miami Heat and why they lost, but there is a play that everybody is talking about. It's hard not to play the what-if game, right? How would things have played out if Bam's night wasn't cut short, as you see here after LaMelo looked like he grabbed his ankle.
Oh, there's no look like he
on that
it.
Rebound, right? So it sent the Heat center hard down to the floor. He injured his lower back, and we heard it earlier. Spo thought Ball should have been tossed from the game. All right, that's what Spo thought. This is what crew chief Zach Zarba said when he was asked about it. He was asked specifically why there wasn't a review. This is why. The play wasn't whistled in real time. So play continued with a fast break. So by rule, our window to review that play then is closed. So then he was asked if a flagrant foul should have been, if they looked back at the play and they thought that this was a flagrant foul. And Zach Zarba said at this point, that goes to the league operations, and they're going to make a determination on that in the coming days. So they will make that determination and go from there. All right. If the league is involved, then we say hello to our senior insider, fresh off the runway, Shams Charania here. Shams.
Mr. Esquire.
Yeah, you look good there, Shams. You did look good, but you also have all the insight, right? We hear Zarba saying here that this is in the hands of the league. So do you expect this to be investigated further?
Malik, I'm told the NBA is investigating and looking into and reviewing this situation with LaMelo Ball's trip up of Bam Adebayo. My understanding is the NBA has already made contact with the Heat and the Hornets about this matter. Over the next several hours, they're going to eventually interview LaMelo Ball himself and other related parties. And people involved around this situation and the investigation so far tell me certainly there's a chance this gets upgraded to a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2 with a foul. There is doubt about whether this really rises to the level of a suspension.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing them suspending LaMelo for the next play-in game. Thank you so much for that insight, Shams. So the Heat season, though, it's over, really, no matter what happens with this review. Tim, when you're looking at what's next for Miami, the play-in champs, as Tyler Hero called them, it feels like that's not the zone they want to be in.
Well, and they're you know, play-in losers here. I mean, there's no champion. And look, Spo didn't want to make excuses. The simple fact is the Miami Heat season was a failure. All right, the last 15 games of this season, they had a defensive rating that would have been the worst in NBA history. The only ones that were worse in that span were the Grizzlies and the Lizards with an L, teams that were intentionally terrible. That's how terrible the Heat have been defensively. This is a team that fell apart, put up a good fight in Charlotte, but that's not, the Heat aren't going to be happy with being a 10th seed and getting dismissed in the first playing game. And Shams told us yesterday, and this is the way the Heat roll, It is big fish hunting. And start with trying to get
Why are
me
you
honest.
laughing?
Because every offseason, Pat Riley is talking about he's trying to go catch a big fish or a whale or a great white.
You're in Florida.
And he
They're there.
continues to go and catch sea bass. Like,
Well,
at
they've
some
got a few
point-
big fish in their day.
Not over the last 5 or 4 years. That's why they've been in the play-in
Perk,
tournament
I like-
for